Hey guys, welcome to this week's Deal of the Week. We're going to be looking at a house in Distant Heights at 2444 35th Street North. Just had a big price drop, but before we jump into that, again, let's go through the rules for buying in a buyer's market, and we are no doubt in a buyer's market. Remember, you set the price. If a house has been 3 or 4 weeks on the market, they're not likely getting action, and that means it's overpriced. That's just the way it is right now. So don't be afraid to come in a little low if you're looking to make an offer, and don't wait for a price drop. Once it's been 3 weeks, the seller's going to be looking for any type of activity, and they'll certainly entertain an offer. So again, rule number 2, let's stick with established neighborhoods at this point. It's no time to be a pioneer and start going into neighborhoods that you think are up and coming. We're not in a housing market that is likely to reward that in the short term. Look for low maintenance properties. Always look in the description for newer roof HVAC. A roof is an insurance issue once you get past the 15-year mark. So if you get a newer roof, that's something you have to deal with for a while. Same with an air conditioning. If you're buying today, you want your capital outlay to be as low as possible for the next couple of years, so that if the market softens further, you're not sinking money into an asset that's not appreciating. That's just the reality that we're living in right now. And then always look, especially in a softer market, look for the broad appeal features in case after a year or two you found yourself in a situation where maybe you had to move, a family situation, job relocation, or whatever, and you had to put the house on the market sooner than you wanted. You want that house to be in the middle of the market, and I mean a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, ideally a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Garage would be great. Those houses are going to sell faster than a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, or a house with unusual features. So let's just jump into this house on 35th Street. And already it's jumping out at me, $313 a square foot, honestly is a little bit high. Distant Heights in general is about $288 per square foot. So I'm not saying this house is overpriced, because it's got a lot of great things going for it. But at 1,439 square feet, I think there's some room here. So let's just jump into the pictures. And I will tell you, and this is what I love about houses, that maybe the color doesn't photograph great, or maybe just it's the angle of this picture with the sidewalk and you got some stains here. This is, and I'm not being critical to listing agent and photographer, but this picture is not, I don't think, doing this house justice. And these are the kind of opportunities you should be looking for, because people scroll, they don't like the first picture, they probably keep going. And this house is probably nicer looking in person than you think. You get the driveway pressure washed. There's no grass up front. It's kind of hardscaped, which is perfectly fine. But aesthetically, I think this house is nicer than this first picture is showing. So we've got a newer roof up here, and we can see that it's got a nice split layout. You walk into the living room, 2 bedrooms to the right side, the bathroom. That would have been the original layout. This primary bedroom would have been the breezeway. A lot of the houses in this area were built as 1,100 square foot houses, and there was an open breezeway, and almost all of them have been enclosed. A lot of people enclose this as a sort of either a dining area or just kind of a family room. Some people have done it, turned it into a bedroom. It's less common that they turn it into a bedroom, because you have to go through a bedroom to get to the garage. Obviously not the end of the world, because you can go out the front of the house as well. So, interior looks nice and clean. Looks like newer cabinets. Honestly, these portrait style pictures, I'm not sure, again, not being critical. Ethically, I don't ever criticize other realtors. But you should be using this to your advantage. I think people are probably kind of skipping this house when they start looking at the pictures, because it doesn't look, let me put it this way, it's nicer than it looks. I am sure of it. Like, this paint color is nice. That place looks super neat and clean. The owners have obviously done a good job maintaining the house. So let me just jump back here, because I kind of skipped past. So this is the second, this would have been the breezeway, and this is where they added the second bathroom. And the reason it's way over here is because the garage is, I believe, on this side, And so the plumbing for the washer and dryer is over here, and that's what made it probably easy to put the bathroom and the toilet right there. And then this would be the original bathroom, which is, these houses that were built in the 50s. This is what you got. You got a toilet, a sink, and a shower, and there's no closet space in here. Very small bathroom, but it's a full bath, and it's certainly serviceable. The house looks nice and neat and clean. Got some nice outdoor space, mature trees here, so you get some privacy. That fence doesn't look like it's in very good shape. Obviously, that would probably need to be replaced. But you got a nice covered area. You got a concrete pad here. Overall, it looks pretty nice to me, actually. The roof is 2024. You could see from those shingles that they had no wear on them at all in that picture. I don't know about the AC. Let's look at the price situation here. They started in May at $525, and they're down $450. So they're down $75,000 to $313 a square foot. And I think, let me just jump to the end here to see if I made the note here. Yeah, they're at $313 a square foot. Neighborhood average is $288, but there's a lot of house. I say a lot. Distant Heights is a pretty big neighborhood. There are houses that are unrenovated, and that's probably dragging that down. This house is not terribly overpriced for what you're getting here, but I like it at $295 a square foot because $300 a square foot for a move-in ready, fairly recently renovated house is 2020 pricing, honestly. So I'd like to see it at $424. So let's go through the rules check, and just to make sure, this house has been on the market 103 days, started at $525. They've got to be ready to start entertaining some offers. Distant Heights, you're not going to be a pioneer. This is an established, stable neighborhood. We don't know about the AC age, but we do know it's a new roof, so we can check that off our list. And then you have a classic 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It is a split plan that has been turned into a split plan. This was originally a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. They put that that 3rd bedroom in the breezeway, and it's in between the living area and the garage. Again, not ideal, but if you're talking about central St. Pete block houses, most of them are built as 2-1s, winter homes for a lot of people. So they've been reconfigured or added on to over the years, and so it may not feel like a brand new or modern layout. There are some quirks. That's just the way it is. But it is a 3-2. So again, protecting yourself. You want to go in with a lower price. You want to go in with newer systems if possible, and you want to find a house that has broad appeal. A regular old 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 1-car garage, has a lot of appeal, especially in a no flood zone in St. Pete. So they didn't provide any disclosures, which if you were interested, we would get. And that's why we don't know the age of the AC or any of the other particulars other than the fact that it's a new roof. So again, crime score at Distant Heights is very low, 3 out of 10. Let's get them down into the $295, which is a almost pre-pandemic pricing, really, or just kind of when things started to run up a little bit there. And then we've got no flood zone here. So let me know your thoughts on this one. I love this house. I love it because the front picture doesn't look great. And I know a lot of people are skipping past that. And if they're skipping past that, that means they're probably not getting as many showings as they should. And that offers an opportunity for you. So make a comment. Let me know what you think. Is this one overpriced in the lower 4s? I think it might be a deal there. As always, I'm Steve Reynolds. I'm a realtor here in St. Petersburg. And I'll leave you with the final thing, and that is last year, real estate commissions changed. If you're buying a house, you have to sign an agreement with your agent now in order to go see a house. And that could leave you on the hook for your buyer's agent commission. But there are some ways around that, and there are ways to mitigate that. And I'll leave a link in the description of this video so you can download an ebook. It'll take you about 10 minutes to read, could save you thousands on real estate commissions. So hit subscribe for the channel. Let me know what you think about this house, and I will see you next time.